on here too, just in case. Hi, Liz.
Hi.
Is there volume work? Can you hear us, Liz?
Yes.
Oh, good. Hi.
Hi.
Okay. Oh, it's streaming too. Perfect. All right. I'm going to set that there so I can, if anybody comments, we can see it there too. Okay. So welcome everybody. We were just talking about, we really don't know what we're doing, but we're trying to like bring our minds together to try to figure out a plan to start advocating for this telehealth stuff. I don't know if Jennifer can hear us, but let's see. Lauren was saying we need to probably start with the parity piece, like working on getting parity in every state before we could even really fight the, trying to get telehealth to let us just do telehealth through the insurance companies instead of, having to go through the third-party platforms and all that stuff. So Virginia's got good strides going right now. I spoke to my Blue Cross rep who pretty much admitted that live health is just a recommendation unless it's the federal Blue Cross plan. So I thought that was promising, actually, because there's a new law that got passed in the state of Virginia that they're not allowed to require the third-party platforms anymore.
Good.
Yeah. So that's exciting. I was thinking, I think I posted it in this group, but that might be a good thing for people to look at, to send an example to their legislators,
Right.
like the type of law that we need to have passed, to just get that requirement off the table. Like they can't say we have to use their platform.
So that's Virginia.
Yeah, it's in Virginia.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I could definitely post that clearer. If I mean, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that would be helpful if people can?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
because it
post.
should be the same across the board.
Okay. Well, so I'm curious, where is everybody? Where is everybody practicing who's on the Zoom right now?
I'm in California.
Okay. I'm in Pennsylvania.
Tennessee. Here comes Natalie. Oh, good. She's good with details. She's coming in.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
gonna say, I just said good. Natalie's coming in. She's really good with details.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey everybody,
Hi,
I'm in Florida. Hey, I was just
good.
on Clubhouse. I was just hosting a
That's you.
Clubhouse room. So I just got done hosting the Clubhouse room. So hello everybody, I'm in Florida and I'm actually only about 25 minutes from Kim. So Kim and I actually,
we went to dinner Tuesday night.
yeah, exactly.
Natalie's coming in. She's really good with details.
Kim and I are collaborating on a webinar coming up April 30th on private practice and insurance with the Florida Mental Health Counseling Association. So if anybody's interested in attending, you don't have to be with the Florida Mental Health Counseling Association to attend. You don't have to be a member. So if anybody's interested or pass it along, we'll be letting everybody know. But I was just going to say that Kim and I, we live pretty close to each other. So, and we do a lot of the same things. So collaborating with each other. And I'm so happy to be here. We need this. Oh my gosh, I wish we could have a union.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's like, I mean, Kim and I messaged briefly, and I think I said something to you about like, I've never started a national movement before, but I think it's worth trying.
Absolutely.
And so that's why like it would be nice. It's great that we have this and this is a start. And if we could get people in create regions around the country, like that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. It's exciting. I'm glad you guys are here. So what I was saying before is I don't really know where to start except for, there's a law that passed in Virginia, and that's a good start for banning these third-party platform requirements. I'm going to post the law in this group so people can take it and share it with our legislators and give examples of what kind of laws we need in each state. So I'm hoping whoever's watching this will do that. What were you gonna say, Natalie?
I have a question. So, your conversation with the Blue Cross Blue Shield rep, I'm wondering, I don't remember from what you posted if this was clear or not. Is it possible that they're going to say, okay, sure, the member can use, wait, no, there's a parity law, so that wouldn't work. I was thinking that they might say, yeah, they can see you, but it would be towards a deductible. And if they want to use telehealth, they'll have to use live health online. So like in a way, like the insurance company will still let them see us, but I don't think they can do that either, because then the parity law wouldn't be followed.
Right. I don't think, yeah, I wouldn't think they could do that, but
Yeah. That's
who,
good.
who knows?
I think they
There's-
can do that, and you would
You
get a
do?
network. I think that you would be told that you're out of network, because to be in network, you have to be with MD Live or one of these other ones. And if you don't use this, you're going to be out of network. There's no parity without a network.
But if the third party platform by law is not an allowed requirement in Virginia, and I'm in network with Blue Cross Blue Shield, at least based on what the rep had written to Kim, it looked like.
I'll have to show you that, Jennifer. That I kind of got into it with my rep a little bit to get her to say that now that this law is here, we can't, it's a recommendation to use it, but you're not required to anymore unless it's the federal Blue Cross plan. But any like state Blue Cross, she was saying that it's not required anymore.
Right, and with the federal Blue Cross plan, and I've taken people with that, they just pay their copay. If the regular copay, if they're going to go with the MD Live or whatever they're supposed to go with, a cheaper copay, or they don't have one. So I do know that with that plan. Here in Florida, I don't know what's going to happen because we don't have parity, and I don't think we're going to have it anytime soon. So we'll see.
But before you came in, Lauren was talking about that's probably where we need to start, like try to see if we can get a plan going for just like force it, trying to force the parity in all states before we can even get these other requirements going. So I don't know what you guys think, if that's a good place to start, and maybe talk about how to do that. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that there's a whole bunch of bills that are going to go, to the legislation in Florida. Parity is not one of them, and probably isn't going to be one of them this year. And they can only see so many of them. We do have a bill that's going to go up to try to keep registered interns to not have to have a licensed person on the premises when they do counseling, so that they can actually do some telehealth. And there's something else that's going on with that, but parity is definitely not on the table right now in Florida. And so that would be probably a whole nother year from now. So it's going to be a battle, I think.
But it has to start at some point, right?
It sure does have to start at some point, but I don't think that every state's going to do that.
Right. Well, and that's,
some states will never do it.
I should have looked it up because I know it's somewhere, to see what states have parity right now and what states don't, or what states are in the process. I know I've seen that map before. Maybe it's been months since I've seen it. Because I know, I'm in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania doesn't have parity. Pennsylvania, yeah. I'm licensed in Colorado
But I can
too.
say that telehealth is not paid less here in Florida. It's paid the exact same as in person. So,
Oh, good.
and almost none of the companies are going to pay less. I mean, some of them pay us so low anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Right.
And I'm leaving some of those panels.
I think the concern is right now, because that's true for Pennsylvania too, it's paid evenly, but the concern is that the way things are moving is that the talk is for lower reimbursement rates for telehealth.
If
I
there's
mean,
no
that's not the
parity.
talk here in Florida, so I don't know what it is in other states.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I hear that from other people in other states, but I've never heard that here in Florida.
Okay.
But it is. I mean, you wonder if they're going to do that, right? I mean, they're forcing us to use 45 minutes. They're forcing us to possibly have patients go use MD Live or one of these other ones. It's the insurance companies are controlling so much right now. It's very frustrating.
Right.
So what tools can we give people to start to force that parity thing in their state? Like, what are your ideas around that to help anybody watching this kind of get going with that?
So I mean, hopefully there's a number of things we can do, but the first thing that comes to mind is writing letters to legislators and try. I mean, I know like the NSA or NASW, they recently put something out about fighting for this. I think the ACA might have too. I feel like I saw
Okay.
something recently about that. But even writing letters to our boards to help them help us or to advocate for
Yeah.
us. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just taking notes here. So writing letters to our boards. Yeah. So anybody that doesn't have parity, and I can post that map of the map
Okay.
of what states have parity. I think I know where that link is.
Okay.
I think it's in my Facebook group.
Right, and the mental health counselors, I know that most of the associations are really working on the federal government to pass the law so that we can take Medicare. I know that is in a bill right now that will be going to Congress.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Man,
That
that'll
would be
be,
amazing.
that would be.
It'd be nice to have more providers for people who need it.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, would anybody want to take on drafting that letter for parity to send to the different places, to our legislators and our boards and everything?
And my suggestion would be to talk to some of the associations to see if they already have one,
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
so that we can keep like the same one going. It's just my suggestion.
No,
So
that's a great
that
idea.
that would be contacting the NASW, that would be contacting the ACA, the APA. Who
And
else?
then there's the AMHCA, which is the Mental Health Counseling Association.
Okay. So I'll post the map, and then under the map, I'll just give a directive. If your state doesn't have parity yet, reach out to your board, see if they've already got a letter or something started, and then get a copy of that letter, adapt it to what you need, and then send it out to anybody you can think to even send it to.
Okay.
What do you guys think about that?
I think it's great. And just remember, you have to send your local representatives or your state representative, not the federal ones. And that's really important. And there's a lot of state representatives here in Florida. So we're a
Yeah.
big state, and most states do have a lot of them. So you really want to find somebody who is in your state that is the person who's pushing mental health law.
Yep.
And I'm
Yeah.
very fortunate that the person who's pushing mental health law is my representative. So who is probably about 3 minutes down the road from my office.
Oh,
And I'm hoping
perfect.
to have a meeting with that person. Actually, I'm going to be emailing him soon to hopefully have at least a Zoom meeting, 15 minutes, get at least some time with him, or a phone call, something, because he's the one who's pushing right now for mental health.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Okay, so such a good point. Find the one that's really doing the mental health, stay local, and reach out to your boards to see if they've already got something going that you can push.
Right.
I have a phone call next week with
Oh, yeah.
with the Tennessee NASW chapter. I had reached out to her and she was unaware. I asked her if she knew anything about any of like Blue Cross or any of them going to requiring us to use like MD Live. She was unaware of that happening at all. So like she had never heard that. So, but I've got a phone call with her, maybe I think it's Thursday, that I
That's
told her we were
awesome.
having a meeting and to kind of talk about this. And she did say that NASW had a lot of things in the works right now as far as the Medicare stuff, that they were working on that. And I do know that Tennessee has several laws right now where they're trying to get expansion of social workers being able to maybe do things across, or mental health workers being able to do things across state lines permanently outside of the pandemic. But I didn't see anything about platforms or telehealth as far as that goes.
Okay.
Okay. So they're probably not even aware that that's like on our radar.
Right, and it's not for Florida Blue. Florida Blue does not have anything to do with any of these other MD Lives or anything like that. So Blue Cross Blue Shield is per state. So I haven't even heard of Blue Cross Blue Shield actually doing that. So I don't know which states they're wanting to do that in. I know Cigna has just bought MD
Yeah.
Live.
Right. That's one of the things that prompted this whole thing. We were
Right.
like, oh crap. What does this mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then even the other article you posted
Right. The
requiring in person. Because then it's like, wait, that defeats the purpose of telehealth Because what if the person isn't really close to you? And the whole point is to make access to care
Right.
more readily available to people. And if they can't come to you, then you can't even bother starting therapy with them.
Right.
Right, and there's some states that already require, when it's not the pandemic, that you have to see the person in person for the initial session. I don't know which states those are. I know Florida is not one of them, but obviously with the pandemic and the state of emergency, they're allowing that they won't be allowing soon. We're going to be going back to the way it was.
Yeah, we were doing that in Pennsylvania prior to pandemic for telehealth.
You had to have your initial session face to face?
It was face to face unless there was some reason that was, I don't know what that reason would be, but yeah.
Wow. Was that was insurance company mandate or just
believe-
this?
I think it was insurance. I didn't do much telehealth
It's
before.
state mandated.
Yeah.
It's actually state
Really?
laws and rules of the state.
Good God. Okay.
That's the
well,
problem. Is all of these states are so different.
Right.
Well, that's another problem. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we could, like I said before all of you got on, I mean, there's like 80 different ways we could take this task force.
Yeah.
I mean,
My thing is to unionize. I mean, that's really the biggest thing. Of course, we would have to find an attorney to want to do that, and people would have to pay. And I don't know if, counselors, social work psychologists are willing to pay to unionize. I think that's the only way we're going to be able to do something nationally.
that would make me sad if people wouldn't be willing to do that.
Yeah, no kidding. That's interesting. So how do we start a union?
Well, we have to find a labor
I don't even
lawyer
know.
to do it. So you have to find, well, I've already asked somebody in my household who said
Oh,
that we
you have a
to
lawyer
hire-
living with you.
Yeah, he's in the other room. But anyways, he
What
said
did
that we
he
have to
say?
hire, he said we have to hire a labor lawyer, and that labor lawyer has to be willing to want to start a union. And I would just probably go look at some of the other unions to see who their lawyers are, and to see if somebody wants to do it. It's going to cost a lot of money. That means that people have to get together
Right.
and put money in a fund for this attorney, because this attorney is going to have to make some money. They charge, and they're expensive. They're not going to be cheap. It's
Well-
$650 to $1,000 an hour.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, so what if that's like part D?
Yeah. Like down the road.
Well,
We
but
could
with
start a
doing that-
GoFundMe on this page here. I don't know.
With doing that too, Jennifer, if you've done a union type thing, would that allow access to mental health workers to get insurance for themselves
Yeah,
at a better
that's
rate
actually,
too?
yeah,
Because you would-
absolutely. We'd be a
you
group.
would have mental health workers willing to do that, because that's one of our biggest things is going
Right,
into
and I
private
actually
practice.
get my insurance through a union through my ex-husband, so yeah, that's
So that may
actually
be an
great.
incentive to get people motivated to, everybody wants that. Well, why don't we put something together to do that? Well, this would be an incentive maybe to get people headed that direction.
Awesome.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. Okay, Jennifer, you're in charge of the union. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
I'll put Brian in charge of it. I'll go, Brian, you need to
Oh,
find
yeah.
us somebody.
Okay. Well, that's crazy. I had never even thought of that really, but that's a great idea. It's a lot to take on, but yeah.
Yeah, I wish like one of the associations would actually put a group policy for healthcare together. That would be
Yes.
really nice.
That sure would be helpful. Mm-hmm.
And the thing is like, I don't know how much the NASW is working with the ACA, working with the AMHCA, who's working with the APA. Like, do they all work together? Do they not work together? Like, I don't even know that at that level. And I'm thinking they probably don't.
You probably don't.
Yeah.
And they all have different interests. That's what I believe.
I think you're probably right. Mm-hmm.
And
Okay,
to
so
me, like
union,
mental health workers are mental health workers. We're all together. We should all be one big family and be a team.
Right. Like we're here to support each other and support our communities.
Yeah. Well, in Florida, that's not the way it is. A lot of Floridians, a lot of Florida councils are really unhappy that people can register in our state to do telehealth because they feel like they're getting business taken away from them. So they're very, very unhappy because they can't do it in other states. So we can't go to anybody else's state, but everybody can come here.
I bet
I
that
always
does
say,
put a-
I'm like, we have 25 million people here. You don't think we have enough people for everybody? I'm like, come on. That's why we have counselors here from telehealth. We
Mhm.
need counselors. We are so understaffed with counselors in this state, but
Well, I
Okay.
know people in Pennsylvania, people in New Jersey are licensed in Florida because a lot of people go back and forth from
are they
here.
licensed or registered? Those are two different things.
Licensed, I believe.
Licensed, you can do insurance. Registered, you're not supposed to do insurance, but I know people do through their local, but
Mhm.
you are not actually licensed in the state of Florida when you're registered.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother issue. I really don't care what people do.
Yeah. That's a whole different.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
Well-
wrote down union possibly, like Lauren said, like part D of our multi-tasking plan here, or whatever we're gonna do.
Right. Along with national licensure.
Exactly. Yeah. What else do we want to do, guys?
I think social workers are way of the game with national licensures over mental health counselors because we're called something different in every freaking state. Well, you guys are too, aren't you? Social workers, isn't there different kind of
Yeah, they even
things?
call our licenses different things. Like I'm an LCSW, and I think in some you're just an LSW, and yeah.
That's part of the problem.
And I
You
know
know,
if I was to try to
psychologists
get
are all
licensed,
psychologists.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
If I was to try to get licensed in another state, I may have to take other classes because some of my stuff might not transfer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, right.
I'm in LPC. So
yeah, I'm an LMHC.
Yeah, it's wild. Okay, so all right. So we're gonna do that with the parity and try to help people start pushing that in their states. And then labor.
One of the
or
things
a
I think we
union-
might want to do, I'm sorry, Kim, is to
Go ahead.
possibly talk to maybe the Telehealth Institute, the ones that are teaching the certification classes, like Ray Barrett and stuff. He may already be ahead of the game and already have some letters or already doing things with different states because he knows a lot of people. So
Okay.
I just know him, but I know that there's other ones that are offering certifications for telehealth. I'm thinking they're bigger players than I am.
Mm-hmm. I was just thinking, I just got an email from somebody wanting to meet with me about this from I think it's telehealth.org.
oh,
I gotta find it. I got 1,000 emails today. TBHI. Dr. Mayhew is happy to hear about this because I reached out to them after they sent that article and said, what can we do? Do you have any ideas? How can you help us? And he said, I'd like to connect for a quick call to review the details. Please email me some days and times you're available. And that's the TBHI engagement team. That is, it's telehealth.org is
Nice.
their website. So I could definitely take that on if you want. Reach out to him or her, I don't know if it's a male or female, and schedule a time to talk and find out if they've got any suggestions for us and see if they want to come talk to us on here or in the big telehealth group if you want. This Dr. Mayhew, telehealth.org. So I'll take care of that and let you guys
Okay.
know what I find out. Yeah, that's a good idea, Jennifer.
Yeah, and then I took the training through Telemental Health Institute, I think it was what it's called. So I got a THTC or whatever. Ray Barrett does it. I've had some conversations with him about other things in the past. So if, after you talk to this person and you want me to reach out to, Ray Barrett, I'll definitely do that and see if I can connect with him.
Okay, so you want to take that part on?
Well,
Reach
let
out-
you do it first and see what
Okay.
you're finding out. I figured find out from telehealth.org first what's going on, because if they're really aligned with you, but they're trying to, who knows, but people have ulterior motives. So hopefully not.
Yeah.
And then we can see what he's going to do or she's going to do. And then once we do that, maybe we can also then reach out to Ray Barrett. And then I think there's some other ones. I don't know all the different ones. So there's so many different ones out there now for certifications.
Yeah, that what is it, the CCBH or something? They're the ones that told me about the Virginia telehealth law that she emailed me back and said, I didn't even know about it until she told me about it because I messaged her and I said, what can we do about these third-party platforms? And she sent me back that law. So they're really on top of it.
Okay.
They are the, he emailed me back too, actually. I just remembered that. I haven't checked my email. What was it? His name is Samuel Taylor with the Center for Connected Health Policy, CCHP. I emailed him too. He said they don't give legal advice, but he sent me a bunch of information. I'll post it in this group. I haven't gotten a chance to look at it. But they're the ones that told me about the law in Virginia. So maybe they've got some good suggestions as well. I can reach back out to him. I'll let you guys know what I find out.
I mean, there's so many issues that we could work on. I mean,
know.
things
It's
like
kinda overwhelming.
BetterHelp and whatever the other,
Gosh.
Talkspace or whatever the
Talkspace.
heck they are. You know, they're doing the chatting and phone stuff, which is illegal in Florida. It's against the laws and rules to do
Yeah.
that. You cannot counsel doing that, but they're doing it. And
Virginia too.
they're getting desperate though. They're sending out postcards to counselors and trying to
They
give
are?
them a bonus Yeah, because I think that people
I have gotten, I don't know how many emails in the last
know.
week.
Same
From-
here.
LinkedIn.
Oh, I
LinkedIn.
did get one of
Yep.
those. Now that you're saying that, I
Yep.
forgot.
Yeah.
I did.
I got that. I got LinkedIn that people are trying to recruit constantly. And I always mess with them for a little while going, so how much is it an hour? And how this and that? And I always tell them I wouldn't work for that. And I feel bad because they're just recruiters. They're just trying to do a job. But yeah, I think they're getting desperate because I think counselors are leaving them, which is great. I hope that they all leave them, you know, $25 an hour. How ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
It's way too low.
And I don't understand how they can get away with like doing something that's against the laws and rules in this state.
I don't know.
Yeah.
A good question.
I'd love to
Okay.
go after them too, by the way.
Okay, we'll put that on E.
Right,
exactly.
That's on
Well,
E.
after
BetterHelp.
the union can go after them, right? So once we have D,
Yeah,
D
there
can
you
go
go.
after E.
Well, that sort of runs parallel kind of to the third party platform piece in a way. So
Yes,
maybe those
because
two
they're
things-
actually health advocates actually for video actually uses one of them. I'm not sure which one they use. So whichever one does video. So I think it's the BetterHelp. I want to say the Health Advocate
Oh.
DAP. That's, you could not do video before. Now you can because of the pandemic. That's where they made them go. I was like, ew. I was not
Isn't
happy with that.
Teladoc BetterHelp? Aren't they the same company?
are they?
Are they
Yeah.
the same company now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Telehealth.
They're all buying each other. Headway is our best bet, to be honest with you,
Right.
because if you become a large group and we're all like, we're not doing that, then the insurance companies are going to have to,
That's true.
you know.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Headway or, you know, Teladoc or one of those MD Live.
Mhm. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Ugh, I don't want to be with it. I mean, Headway looks good, but I don't know if I want to really be with any of them.
Right.
At least Headway is going to give us better rates.
Right.
Mhm.
But in an ideal world, like we could all practice and in a union and have our own practices and help the community and make a living.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Absolutely.
Headway's good only because they're such a large group that they have power.
Right.
Right.
Does
Right.
anyone
If
here
they go,
work for
if they
them?
go national, they're going to be really powerful.
Mhm. Does anyone here work for Headway?
I do.
No.
Oh, you do? How's it going?
I mean, I haven't actually, I'm just getting onboarded with them. So
Okay.
I'm going to, in Florida, we only have Optum, so United Behavioral Health, but I'm
Mhm.
only going to like put one person through and see how it goes with
Test
that
it.
person. And
That's what I'm gonna do too. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
in the credentialing process right now. So.
Well, and that's another thing we could tackle, that new thing that's happening with Optum. I don't know if anybody's read that
which
About,
one?
about the Optum pay.
Oh, I'm not in
Oh.
it, so I don't have any issues with
Yeah.
it.
You're Headway, so you're not getting paid that way. So
I'm not Headway. Yeah, I'm
Oh, you will.
independent right now.
okay.
But I don't have any issues with it. Like, I'm not part of it. I didn't sign up for it, so I still can see my stuff. I can see everything.
Okay. I'm just reading all of this stuff now about it and people having issues and
I don't understand the issue unless they clicked on something, because
You've got an
I was
option
fine
with
today.
Optum Pay not
I
to
got
have
it
to
on
pay
today.
it.
What, April?
You have when Optum Pay sent me the thing, you have an option. You
Right.
don't have to do the paid version.
Right.
Correct.
Oh, there's the free and the paid, right? I was just
Yeah.
reading about that. I don't really know what it is. Except for, I mean, if you do the free version, you have to like cash the check cards or something instead of having it direct deposited. Is that what it
No.
is?
No, you can still get EFT.
Oh,
It's
you
all
can?
the same. The only
So what
difference
is
is
the
that you
paid?
can only see 30 days worth of your ERA. You can't
Oh,
see any past 30 days. That's it.
Okay.
That's the only difference I see, and I don't have any issues with it. Like I was on it today, and I clicked the terms and services, just like I was reading all those. They're like, don't click it, don't click it. Well, I clicked it because it's the only way you can get on the platform. And it says, you want to click here for the paid one, basically, or do you want to? And I didn't. I just scrolled down and hit the whatever you have to hit to look at your, EOBs
okay.
and stuff. And I did it, so I didn't have any issues.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was too, and I didn't really figure I'd need it after 30 days.
Right. I neither.
And I guess you could
Good.
call if you had to, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could call,
Yeah.
I assume so,
After
but
30.
if a client is having an issue with an EOB, they can send me the EOB also.
Good idea.
And I do know another thing I ran into today. I just now, hey, by the way, I just now got my contract back for Blue Cross. But they will not, if you try to call them to verify benefits, they won't talk to you on the phone. They make you go through Availity.
Oh, wow. Through the chat.
Mhm.
What state are you in?
Tennessee.
Wow.
Yeah, when I called them today, they said you have to go through Availity first. Then if you can't get your answers, then you can call us back and we can give you a code, but you have to go through there first to verify benefits.
Other ones do the same thing with codes. I'm not sure which ones, but I remember getting codes and I had to put the code in and then I'd actually get a real person. I can't remember what it was, but
Wow.
it wasn't a big deal.
Hmm.
They just want you to jump through a little bit of hoops.
Just a little.
Avail doesn't give you any telehealth benefits, so it's like, it's worthless.
So, oh, go ahead, Lauren.
No, I was just gonna say, do we want to get back on the topic
Yeah.
of the? Okay.
Yeah. So the next thing we were worried about was the third-party platforms and the Medicare thing.
Right.
So what do you guys, I did post in this group, somebody named Rachel was communicating with the NASW. I don't know if you guys saw that
Mhm.
part where they said that they were definitely working on it. And one of you guys just said that too, right? That, well,
Yeah,
April,
I
you,
saw that.
Yeah, that's what the local chapter told me. Is that they
Okay.
were.
okay. So they're working on that. So, I mean, I guess maybe
Medicare, like who's working on it is what I want to know.
NASW.
Okay.
but what do you think, Jennifer? I mean, that's what we're here for. So what would be another way to, what do you think we should do?
I mean, if you want to do something with Medicare, that's the national level, you need to be writing your senators, your two senators and your representatives that are actually in Washington, D.C. That's who you have to go through. I mean, yeah, NASW, some of these big groups have lobbyists. I don't know how really good the lobbyists are, and I don't even know how powerful they are. Obviously, the ACA hasn't been very powerful because we haven't been able to get Medicare for, to be able to take Medicare at all, and they've been trying for years and years and years. So my thing is, and they always stick it in some other bill that they don't want to pass.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem is, it's going to be, and not Medicare cut the rates. So I don't know if you guys are getting your rate cut, but I know that since Medicare supposedly was going to cut rates, they actually Humana TRICARE cut their rates because they follow whatever Medicare does.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
but
what I heard.
it's going to be really, really hard to get a change in the federal level. I just think it's going to be really hard. I hope it's not, but.
Yeah, but you're right. Okay, so what would be some key points in a letter if we were all going to draft a letter to send to our senators? What do you guys think around the Medicare thing?
Or
I mean,
around,
I want them to accept us LMHCs, LPCs. That's number one.
Okay. LMHCs, LPCs, right?
FTs, I
Any
guess.
licensed mental health professionals.
What'd you say, Lauren? It cut
I
out. for a
said
second.
any licensed mental health professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that should be a point. Okay.
But you're speaking to this requirement for in-person session prior to tele.
Yeah. Should we confuse the matter, like, and put a bunch of stuff, or should we just focus on that thing right now?
I mean, they need to be separate.
Yeah.
They'll never be put in one bill. I don't think so.
Okay, so we need at least two letters, one addressing the LPC thing.
Right. And I mean, points to both of them. I mean, they both increase access to care.
Right.
What they don't want.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, access to care. So in both of these letters that we'll have for the licensed professionals, we'll have a letter and talk about access to care. And then in the telehealth restricting the face-to-face visit requirement they're putting in.
Right.
Access to
I don't
care.
think they're going to change that, to be honest with you.
Well, we're gonna make them.
Have to try.
I mean, I think
gonna
the
fight it.
only way that you're going to be able to get them to change that is if there's not a licensed professional within so many miles of where you're at. If there's no availability within so many miles where you're at, is the only way they'll probably have that waived. I don't know if that's in there right now. That might be.
Well, that used to be that rural
Right.
telehealth requirement thing that they lifted with the pandemic.
But
that
I'm so curious though, with the number of people who have given up their office space and transitioned to telehealth. I mean, I'm sure there's a number of people still out there with office space, but what is
I
that?
own mine.
That's nice. I mean, what's the impact of that?
Right. Yeah, for sure. Is there a
I
way
mean,
to put
people are
that?
just going to stop seeing them. I mean, they're going to just see their existing clients, patients, and they're not going to be able to see new people
Right. And
for
so
Medicare.
again, and then wait lists get longer. And I mean, it comes back to access.
And I think
Right.
I think that some, not that we have control over what clients do, but I think that some, members of these insurance companies are going to complain that they're not able to continue seeing
hope
their
so.
counselor. And I had a representative tell me that I'm in Virginia, that while they were requiring the third-party platforms, he said a lot of members were complaining that they had to see a therapist through a third-party platform. He said, so I don't think we're going to go back to making that a requirement. And now it sounds like the law came out in Virginia that they can't. So I'm hoping that like the consumers will also, stop, prevent this from getting too crazy.
So how do we ethically put that on
Yeah, I know.
the consumers to be able to, or to empower them, to encourage them to?
Right, but if
Yeah.
the consumer can get on MD Live and access somebody quicker than they could access me, they're never going to complain.
Mhm.
I mean, if everybody joins MD Live, I mean, I'm not joining them, but if people join them and there's people available.
Mhm.
I don't know. I guess I'm finding that a lot of clients don't want to use those platforms. There's almost like they feel like it's lesser. I'm not saying that that's true, but I think that may be how they perceive it. So
Mhm.
so they really want to work with a therapist. And I mean, but yes, I get the wait list thing. Like if there's going to be a long wait, but even then I think that could cause them to complain, that there's a problem with the system.
Right.
Mhm. Well, and when the public health crisis is over and our clients are, told they can't see us anymore, they might want to.
Yes.
We could say, well, you know what? I've got this letter that I'm giving my clients, and you could take this and you can call your insurance company and complain to them about this, and
Yes.
whoever
Yeah,
else.
well, I'm getting off Florida Blue Panel, and I've told every one of my people to call New Directions is what controls behavioral health in Florida Blue, and they've all complained, and they're complaining to somebody who's like, there ain't nothing I can do. There's nothing, like, there's nobody to complain to. That's the problem.
Mhm.
So
Well,
I
that's
told him to
true.
write a letter to the guy who got $7 million last year, the CEO. But I also tell them to write the insurance commissioner, state of
I was
Florida
gonna
insurance
say,
commissioner.
That'd
the
probably be
insurance
better.
commissioner.
Yeah.
You know, Florida Blue pays so darn low. I mean, there's very few people on it. I tried to stick it out and I couldn't do it any longer. So no access
Yeah.
services for Florida Blue or Blue Cross Blue Shield in Florida. Anybody's got Blue
Mhm.
Cross Blue Shield, it all goes through Florida Blue, and just any Florida Blue providers anymore. It's really sad for the
No, it's
consumer,
terrible.
especially if they
And
can't
they
afford.
pay like $40 a session or something, right? It's insane.
Not much more than that, we'll say.
Yeah. Okay, so part of this is we should draft, I mean, I guess we're on the third party platform thing now, but
Yeah.
have some sort of letter to give our clients if they want to complain to the insurance company or their state insurance commissioner
Mhm.
about the third party requirement.
Yeah, I'm not giving a letter out. I'm just going to say I'm not going to get a letter from MD Live telling me to cease and desist to try to sue me because I'm giving something to a client.
You're
but
right.
That doesn't, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always
That's like
say
Lauren
that.
said, how can we ethically do that without? I mean, what do you guys think about that? Is
And they'll
that,
come
do you think-
after us. I mean, they got lawyers, like they have money. So I'm just a solo person.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I guess they wouldn't need a letter. They could just call and complain. We could just say, if this is something that you feel is not best for your treatment. I would encourage you to call your insurance company and let them know your thoughts and feelings about it, or the insurance commissioner's office. I mean, I don't see how we could possibly get in trouble for that because we're trying to look out for the best interest of the clients
Right.
and their care. So I mean, I understand the letter. I can see how that could come back on us, but just telling them in a phone call in that kind of way, I don't really think that would put us at risk personally.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
especially,
agree.
what'd you say, Jennifer?
I said I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah, good point, Natalie. So no letter, but just, really letting them know their options
Mhm.
to advocate for themselves if they're not happy with that.
Mhm.
Or if
Kim,
they
if-
can't, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, or if they can't see us anymore because all of a sudden the public health crisis is lifted and now
Mhm.
they've got to go to, that's definitely something to say, like continuity of care. This isn't
Right.
good care for me,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. I was just going to ask you, Kim, is anybody watching this live on Facebook? Is anybody commenting or anything?
Now, there's 2 people watching with us, but they're not
Hello,
commenting.
2 people.
Hi, 2 people. I can't tell who they are, but I'm going to
Okay.
say, I think Beth Edwards is one of them. Hi, Beth. Beth actually started this task force thing with me.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah. Hi, Beth. Do you have any suggestions? She can't hear us talking. Okay. Okay, so hopefully anybody that watches, bless you.
Thank you.
Anybody that's watching this will hear that and maybe encourage their clients to. Beth said, thanks for your conversation. You're welcome. Glad you're here.
yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah, so we'll just, anybody listening to this, once the third party requirement thing starts to become a problem, make sure you help them advocate for themselves with calling the state insurance commissioner and their insurance company and even their human resources department. You can
Oh,
also-
right. 'Cause you're right. That's a good idea. Because
Mhm.
That
they're
is a
the
good
ones
If
idea.
that are
they're self-funded, it's a big deal, but if they're not self-funded,
True. Yeah.
What is
that's
that?
true.
What's the difference like between self-funded and fully funded? I'm not clear on that.
Jennifer, do you know?
yeah, so self-funded is when a company basically decides what they want in their own plan and they pick an insurance company and they work together to come up with an actual type of insurance plan for their actual company. So it's a self-funded plan. and the company's putting money into it for the plan. And, regular plan is just, Blue Cross Blue Shield has this plan, they purchase it, and they make a negotiation and purchase it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like
So
hospital
self-funded plans
systems
are the issue, because that's at least the issue with me. It's like I had somebody call a couple months ago and she wanted to see me, and I said, well, I will call your insurance company to verify, and they said she had to use one of these third-party platforms. And so I told her that, and she calls and they said, no, you don't have, because we're in the state of emergency. And I said, well, when does it expire? And she called them back and they said March 31st at that time. And I was like, I am so sorry, but I can't ethically see you. I
right?
can't ethically start with you in January and then we're done March 31st because you have to go to another platform. Of course, they probably accept, but I ethically, I told her that she had to go with them. Or I just couldn't do it. And even
Yeah.
if she said she wanted to pay, I'll go out of network afterwards, I don't know how it's going to work. And I was like, I couldn't do it. And I felt really bad, but
Yeah.
I hopefully that they have a choice of how they look for providers. I'm not really sure how they advertise people on those platforms.
Hmm. It's like a directory, basically. You can just choose from any provider you want.
Yeah, but the regular, insurance plans that aren't self-funded,
Mhm.
like they're national. So like Cigna is national, and they all are doing telehealth, and Optum and
Yeah.
Aetna, they're all doing
Right.
telehealth. At least in Florida, we don't have to use third-party platforms for Aetna. I know in other states they do.
Yeah, Virginia, it's Teladoc a lot of times.
Yeah.
Not always, but sometimes.
I'm not sure why in Florida that they don't have to, and maybe there is some law in the books that I don't know about. I don't know.
Maybe there is. I don't know. That's a good question.
So
Um,
for the third party platforms is
Yeah.
the main thing right now encouraging clients to call.
Yeah, encouraging the clients to call. And then what we were saying before about, like, I'll share that Virginia law, and then you guys could share it with your legislators to see if
Okay.
you could get anything going
Okay.
that's similar to what's happening in Virginia. For the third party stuff, yeah. And any other ideas about that? With the third party stuff?
I mean, I think we also want to possibly write doctors, the primary care physicians, and say, refer to us, not to MD Live, because like that's what they're being told. And that's how it read to me. How it read to me was the physician's going to refer them to that platform.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh,
That's
that's
true.
a good point.
Good point.
Wow.
Okay. So are you talking like if we already have a good referral network, like making sure we reach out to our doctors in our network and say, hey, by the way, make sure you're referring straight to me and not this platform because I'm not on that platform.
Mm-hmm.
It's only if that's a possibility. If it's not a possibility, I wouldn't do that. But physicians have a lot more power. So
I mean, it couldn't
the
hurt,
physician-
especially if you're close with some.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Well, I'm not
it's a great
accepting any
one.
new patients for the time being, forever probably, because I'm so over. But
I hear you.
and so I'm not going to be writing any doctors. So I don't want any more referrals from.
Yeah, no kidding. But it's a good idea for the other people that are in that
Absolutely.
situation. Yeah, I
Right,
think that's a
right.
good idea. Okay. And then, so can we go back to the Medicare thing for a minute?
Yeah.
So we were talking about, we said access to care for the face-to-face requirement that they're trying to do. We said definitely access to care, and then the wait lists are going to get larger. I wrote that down. What else can we say? Like, what are some more points about that? I'm trying to think. Well, we could do the continuity of care thing. We could touch on that a little bit. Like, we've been seeing these clients, and if we don't have offices,
Right.
where are we going to send them? Like, it's not even ethical to discharge them,
Right.
right? Okay. How would we say that? Not even ethical to discharge.
Yeah. I mean, it creates a disruption in treatment.
That's a good way to put it, right? Creates a disruption. Yeah, that's good.
And I mean, if you want to I mean, you could speak to then a disruption in treatment then potentially costs more money for them,
Mm,
Good point.
whether that means a
Yeah.
higher level of care or just starting over.
yeah.
That's such a good point. Yeah, they lose their providers that they've had a bond with for a year. I mean, more hospitalizations.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah. Trouble finding providers. Like everybody's got a wait list these days. I don't
Right.
know about you
Right.
guys. Me and Jennifer, I know do. I think Natalie does. Natalie, you're full, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm just launching into private practice in April. So
You're going to be full really fast.
Yeah, if you take insurance, you will be, especially.
For sure.
I started in February and I got 13.
That's right. You're like killing it.
Yeah. Well, but if all this stuff happens, it's going to screw me over because I'm doing it all. I'm
Ugh.
scared to drop off at the clinic I work at, and I'm working 6 days a week, and I'm looking at that next Friday and Saturday is like booked. But because I'm afraid to drop off at the clinic, because if I leave that job and all this falls apart, then
Yeah.
so I don't have an
I'm cold
office.
turkey.
What'd you say?
Is Medicare mandating to go back to the office, and they're not going to cover telehealth
Medicare-
anymore?
Medicare, there is a law that passed that said after the public health crisis is over, clinicians are going to have to do an initial face-to-face and
Right,
then
I
every
saw
6
that.
months, and then every 6 months of
Oh.
face-to-face. So, I mean, somebody like me that doesn't have an office, I can't do that. I'm not doing that, you know? I don't have I live in Miami. I'm licensed in
So
Virginia
it says in person. It didn't just say face to face, right?
in person.
In person.
Yeah, and if they're not
Every
relatively
6
close
months.
to you,
Wow.
then it makes it more difficult.
Right. And I'm holding on to my Colorado license because when I start, I'm going to start with PA, and then I was going to move to seeing folks in Colorado. But I'm not hopping on a plane every 6 months.
Oh my God.
And like Blue Cross of Tennessee is telling us that they're going to cover telehealth beyond the pandemic, but they won't tell us how.
Mm.
Nobody can tell me if they're going to require a platform. Nobody will tell me anything.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
for Florida Blue, they required us to actually sign an attestation. That was a couple of months ago. So if we wanted to actually provide telehealth services, and that they are going to cover it after the pandemic, which I was
Oh, that's
shocked.
good. That's good.
Well, it doesn't matter because there's no provider, so
Right.
it makes a difference.
I also find it so interesting that we say after the pandemic, when really like there's going to be like a day.
I know. Yeah.
Right, and right now I believe it's going to be 12/31/21.
Right. But it's just so bizarre because things are not going to be the way they were
Right.
before.
Well, and each insurance is doing something different. Like TennCare, which is like Medicaid for us in Tennessee, ends the end of June. Medicare is saying, Medicare actually said in their stuff, when the state of emergencies ended or December 31st, whichever one
Right.
happens first.
Which right now
So-
it's actually slated to end April 1st unless it gets extended, is my understanding.
So it's like,
Of course it
you know,
will,
Really?
but
The national state of emergency ends December 31st, 21. So your care is not going with the national?
I don't know.
State of
That's what somebody
emergency?
posted, and somebody posted something in one of the groups that said a 4/1. Of course, I think it'll be extended. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but
Oh, I
Um,
saw that. They said that it was extended. It was originally
did?
for 4/21, but that the HHS, I think it was, they referred to, had it said that it was till like Jennifer said, till the end.
okay, well, I hope so. Because I know Medicare has said 12/31, or like Lauren said, that the pandemic ends.
Yeah, so if the state of emergency, they end the state of emergency, national state of emergency, that's going to be the day it's going to end for Medicare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all federal.
So that's why we got to get on this Medicare thing and try to do something, even though Jennifer's doubtful that anything will happen, but we could try.
But that's why we need numbers. Like I'm so happy that
There
there's
you go.
numbers here. Like
I
I'm
know.
yay, go us. But if we could multiply that number by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I have your permission, I will share this in my Facebook group as well, this recording, if that's okay with you guys. Is
Yeah.
that all right with everybody?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll share it there too. So hopefully it'll get a little more traction.
Yeah.
And everything we talked about, I'll summarize, or if anybody else wants to help summarize in the group, what we've talked about to sort of give like specific directions to people so they know what to do.
So can we go back to the beginning? So you're going to reach out to the TBHI. Jennifer, upon hearing from Kim, you're going to reach out potentially to Ray.
Mhm.
And then all of us are going to reach out to like the ACA, the APA, whoever we're associated with, to see what they're doing and possibly get the same language that they're using.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me just read through my notes. Yeah, that's I think that's good. So
And then we're
do
going to
that.
get a labor lawyer.
Yeah, that's right. Jennifer's gonna start a union.
Well, just remember that all the associations have lobbyists. So like a Florida Mental Health Counseling Association, we have a lobbyist. She's an attorney. She goes to Tallahassee. So every one of your state, NIASWs, all of them, FMHC for me, there's ACAs, there's all different ones in each of the states. Most of them have attorneys for that specific state. So if you're looking for something in the state, obviously Medicare is federal, so it's a different story, but those are the people that you can call and talk to, and they can develop letters for you too. So they are the attorneys for, the association if you belong to it. I mean, I belong to ours.
Okay, that's a great idea. Okay.
And they will know, by the way, who are supporters of the mental health bills in your state.
Yeah. Well, I was telling Kim before everybody got on, my Congress person is Susan Wild, and she is a big mental health advocate and access advocate. So I mean, she's a Congress person, so she's at the higher level. But I would like to send her many letters.
Mhm.
All of these letters. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I think this is a good start. Absolutely. I'm wondering if maybe we should just like meet like once a month or something, or every other month, or
That's
What do
what
you
I was
guys-
going to say. I mean, I'd be for once a month at least to start until we start getting rolling on stuff. But I don't know how everybody else
Okay.
feels.
No,
I'd be
that's
good with that. I think this is important because I definitely want to stay telehealth only. So I have a vested interest in
Well,
that.
and it's so funny because I would like to go back in the office. I mean, I work with all ages, but I do play therapy, and I miss. I don't know if you can see my unicorn back there.
Aw.
I miss that, but I'm not ready to go back in the office yet. And I also feel passionately that telehealth needs to stay around.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Well, this is awesome, guys. I'll post it in the other group. So what do you want to schedule a time now? We can post it as an event, and then maybe more people will be able to come.
Let's
Sure.
do that.
I would say that we don't post it on a Friday evening. We have
Okay,
it
Friday.
Monday through Thursday or something where people will be available, because Friday evenings, I don't think everybody wants to jump on a Zoom call.
Yeah. What do
At
you
least
think?
not in the
Evening or
Eastern,
huh?
not in the Eastern time zone anyways.
Yeah, I hear you. Let me pull up my calendar. Let's see. So, what is a month from today? What is today? I don't even know what today is. Oh, today's the 5th.
So April 2nd would be a month from today, which is a Friday.
April 2nd. What do you guys think? Would you rather do like at noontime on a Friday, or like an evening during the week?
Probably an evening for me.
Yeah, I would say evening too.
Mhm.
Okay, like the 6:30
Yeah, just
time.
evening. I actually suggested to be later for the time zones for California and those people if they want to join us. I don't think they're going
Okay.
to join us if we're at 6:30 and they're at 3:30.
Good point.
Would
I
we
mean, I'm
want to
thinking more
do?
like 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night. I know it's late in the Eastern for some people, but for other people it's not. I mean, I'll do it at 1 a.m. I'm probably still awake, so.
Not
I mean, I could do 8. I'm okay with 8 p.m.
eight's fine.
That's fun. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I mean,
so
I like Monday nights because I tend to not have a lot of stuff on Monday nights, but that's just me. I don't know what everybody else does with their schedule.
Mondays, at least right now, I work late, so
okay,
that's not, yeah.
what's a good day? I can do any day. I'm real flexible.
Well,
Anybody else?
if we're looking a month out, do we want to do like Thursday the 8th, or do we want to do the 1st, or
April Fool's Day.
Beth says Tuesday. She's commenting in the
Okay.
comments. What about how's Tuesday? What would that be? The
Tuesday the
8th?
6th?
The
Six.
6th? Would that work for you guys? Tuesday the
Mhm.
6th at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
I'll
Mhm.
put it in my
Yeah,
calendar.
so far.
Oh shit! I don't think it's gonna work for me. I forgot. I'm gonna be in Virginia with my nephew, like
Aw.
Well, what
crawling all
about
over me at 8 p.m.
either the 30th or the 13th?
I'll just scoot out of the room. I'll come do it anyway. The Thursday the
Are you
6th at 8
sure?
p.m. Yeah, it's okay. He should be in bed anyway. He's only 3, but he
Hey,
stays
won't
up
he be
till like
asleep
11.
by then?
No, his mother lets him stay up till 11. If you can
Well, then
believe
he
that,
needs to
like
be
it's
in the
insane.
Zoom call. I'll have my granddaughter.
With me, yes. All right, so Tuesday the 6th at 8 p.m. I'll schedule an event and invite everybody in this group.
Will that be 8 Eastern?
Yeah,
Huh?
is that good for you, April?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll just block off my last client. And
Does that work for you, Beth? Oh, good, April. Okay. Let's see if Beth comments. And how about you, Liz? Will that work?
Yes, so far, it should.
Awesome. All right, I'll make an event for us. Okay, guys. Well, this is exciting. It might not be immediately, but I'm gonna get it all up in the Facebook group and whatever I put, you guys, if anybody wants to be an admin, let me know. I just make you an admin, and then you can like edit posts and add things to anything I add, and we can just help each other build these posts together if you want to.
Okay.
Sure.
Does anybody?
Oh, if you could always add me, I'll do the best I can.
Yeah, I'll do the best I can too.
Okay,
Same.
everybody.
That's all we can do.
Mhm.
Yeah. So everybody want to be an admin?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, I'll make you guys all
I'm going
admins.
to delete what you say, Kim.
What?
I'm going to delete all your comments. Now you're going to give me
Okay.
power.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go write weird words in the middle of it.
Sounds like fun. I'll be like, what in the hell is going on with this? Okay, let me see.
Then you'll be like, you owe me a glass of wine.
Right? All right, Lauren. I'm just writing down everybody's last name. I know Natalie, Jennifer, and April. Okay. All right.
And after the pandemic, everybody comes to Florida and we'll meet.
Yeah, Jennifer and I know some really great places to go eat on the water. So we've been
Oh,
having fun with that.
absolutely. Kim lives on the most beautiful beach. I love it there.
Oh, she
We're
made me
planning
so
actually to-
jealous the other day.
Yeah,
doing
we're
eating.
actually planning to possibly move there in October from where we live here downtown Fort Lauderdale. So I love
I
it
met
over
with
there.
April. I met with April the other day. I was outside at my little tiki hut. I was like, look at this view. And she's like, oh my God, that's amazing.
And we had
It's so pretty.
snow, so.
Yeah, right.
Mhm. And it's
Our
like
snow is
40 here
finally-
today.
The
Yeah,
cold front's
ours
coming
was
through
finally
tomorrow. Got a cold front coming through tomorrow. It might be
It'll be
79.
what, 70?
So yeah, it's going to be the 60s at night.
Oh
That's
It
no.
was
cold.
cold tonight. We walked back from Margaritaville after dinner and I was like, I had goosebumps. So, but anyway. What'd you say, Lauren? Did you say something?
I said our snow is finally starting to melt.
Mm. I don't like snow.
Oh, I
It's
do,
pretty.
just not, I
I
have to
don't
go see it
either.
and go home.
That's why I live in Florida. I moved to Florida.
Exactly.
I had enough of upstate New York.
Mm. Oh my gosh. All right, you guys, I'm gonna make you all admins and I'll make posts, but like I said, just edit if I forgot anything or or if you want to start a post, I'll come in and edit it too, like whatever you want to do. Okay.
It's nice to meet everybody.
Yes,
Yeah, nice to meet everyone.
Same here.
thank you all for coming. I'm so happy.
I know, me too. I'm excited about this. Even if nothing happens, at least we're trying,
Right.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I recorded this whole thing, so I'll put it in the other Facebook group too. So hopefully it'll get some more excitement going around it.
Yes.
Maybe we should just send this to the legislatures.
Maybe. You think they watch it?
No.
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 No. Maybe I would put on something other than a sweatshirt.
Yeah. And you know what else? I was just thinking I could put it on my YouTube channel if you want, and give you guys the link. If you see the opportunity in the other Facebook groups, you could share it there too. If people are talking about this stuff, you could say, well, here's our first meeting of the task force group and here's how you join. If you want
Yeah.
that as well.
Sure.
Okay. All right, I'll do that too. I'll put it on because I've got an audience there too, and maybe that'll attract more people.
Yes. We need people from all
Mhm.
states, multiple
Yeah.
people.
Well, thanks guys for meeting on a Friday night.
Welcome. Thanks for
Mhm.
organizing this.
Yeah, Lauren, it was actually Lauren's idea, by the way, to do this. So
Thank you.
Great
I'm glad
idea.
that you came.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, well then I'll see you guys again on Tuesday the 6th at 8 p.m.
All right.
Sounds
Everybody have a
good.
good weekend.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.